Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Gatehead farm. And it's just after midday, and finally those grass swaths have turned to straw. Therefore, we've got to get them in and get the fields converted for planting crops. I was just about to get lunch and decided to look in the field to see what was happening with them, and that's what I saw. So, right, let's jump in the beast, because the beast is the fastest of my 3 tractors, and we'll head across to the silage yard, as I'm calling it, which is the yard that we bought from Scott next to field 20. I think it was 20, might have been 40. The one where he had all his silage equipment. So I'm going to take the shortcut that the old farmer down here is letting us use through his meadow. I've been out this morning, I've done all the fertilising contracts, I've also applied herbicide on our own fields that are already planted, and I've no doubt we're going to get some contracts for doing that of other people. Probably tomorrow. Tends to be a more summer type contract. Oh. Yes. There we are. Right. Onward. This field could do with mowing. Good crop of grass off this. So yeah, we've got 3 fields that we've got to lift the straw, not the straw, the hay. One we're heading to is just a partial field, but we've got to windrow it before we can lift it. So need to get this one done and out of the way. It's the bit of the field that we didn't convert to crop. So I left the windrower and the loading wagon up here. And there they are. A mad dash to get all of this done today. It does have to be done today. Today's the last day of spring, the last afternoon and evening of spring, so it's all got to be done before midnight. Whoops. So, bold. Bit big for this little patch, really. Could really have tried to get myself a smaller one. Saving money. Right, lower it down, turn it on, and off we go. Probably should zoom out a bit with the drone so I can see what I'm doing. After all, the whole point of using the drone is to get an overview of what's actually happening behind us. And yeah, we clipped that tree. This is where you can see this this windrower is a little bit too big for this patch. That's okay, we'll get through it somehow. And yeah, that's why I want to cut all those trees back on each of the fields that we own. Get this to swing and stay within the field. Right, but looks like we've done it. Close to the tree again. That's going to catch. Yeah. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, little tractor. Well done. Come on, you can do it again. Dig those tyres in. Right, so lift that then. We'll just do this in 2 quick passes. Bit scrappy, partly because I'm rushing, trying to get this done before we run out of time. I need the crops in the field before the switch over from spring to summer, so that we get the growth stage, germination and growth stage for spring. Otherwise the crops might not be ready come the autumn and we then lose them. Right, so off, lift it, hold it. Just got to go back to the main farm. It needs a wash and a service. Well, I don't know about a service, but it certainly needs a wash. All that dirt off it before we get to the autumn harvesting and we want to make straw swaths or whatever. But what I'll do is I'll quickly run this back to the farm and then I'll come back here and jump in that tractor and I'll see you back here when we're about to lift those swaths. Right, there we are. Back over here now and let's get that hay lifted. Didn't take long. We want to try and get all of it, leave a clean field, scraps behind on the corners. Not so good, but always go back and get them. Hopefully we'll get it all in one load. Don't have to run back across. That's going to cost time, and time is a precious commodity today. Still missed a bit. Oh, get it. I do love the follow me function on these drones. It makes the whole thing so much easier to use. So, just a reminder, the reason that we're collecting this hay, which is the sun-dried grass, is because we're going to use it for making total mixed ration for feeding our cows. Grab this little bit and spin round and get that next swath. Still missed a bit. So we're going to need quite a bit of this. Going to need quite a bit of silage and straw, but silage and straw is not a problem. Hay is always the problem, especially early in the year when you don't get so much grass to cut and dry. It's easier later in the year, but the early part of the year is when it's tough. We do need it to keep the cows in top condition so that they calve sooner, and then once they've calved, so that they produce milk of a higher yield and quality. It all comes back to the old adage, you get out what you put in. Maybe not the best adage to use when you're talking about milking cows and having them produce calves. But you know what I mean. Right, just got that last little bit to get. I take it right back to the hedge and then come up again. Got it? I think it's lifted all of it except that little bit that's actually under the hedge up there. See if we can grab it. Nice to get all of it out. It doesn't sit there and rot. Right up to the edge. Just not getting it. Why are we not getting it? We have to go through the hedge. That got it. Right, turn it off. Pick up. Take this back to the yard. Go back through that convenient little shortcut that the old guy's given us access to. Guess I should shut that gate if we're not going to be working in that field for a while. Oh, and that shed. Fortunately, these gates are still jammed open. We need to get something done about them. No idea what we can do about it. Try and get something done. Right, onward. I'll see you back at the farm. Okay, here we are at the top field. Field 25, is it? It's gonna start lifting this before we empty the trailer. I want to get somebody into this field with a plough as quickly as possible. This is going to be our sugar beet field, and we need to get that planted very, very quickly. Okay, so that gave us round about 60,000 litres just off that little field. So it's definitely worth collecting. We'll park this in the big field and then we'll get the plough up to the small field, get that underway while we're across working the big field. And I parked the windrower there right next to the wash station. That'll be one of the first things that we do once we're finished in the field. Yeah, I think we'll go that way. I jump out, back. We're going to need a bigger tractor for the plough. The horsepower thing. Horsepower and weight. It needs the weight to dig in the plough. Problem is, I don't know where the edge of the field is here, so I'm probably going to have to put an edging around it. So, it's not cutting new field. I need that to cut new field. Hold on. Because having taken some of the trees away from the margin, we've now got no overhangs, so we can smooth up the edge of the field instead of having these zigzags everywhere. I believe it's Y to cut a new field. Yes, it is. Oh, bit up the plough. I should have known it wasn't cutting new fields because it moves slower when it's cutting new fields. Though it's rated to travel at the same speed, it does actually travel a little bit slower when it's cutting new fields. The indicated speed is still the same. Feel it on the vehicle. Now, got back to regular ploughing. So get this done, and then I'll get the roller up and consolidate the margin of the field, and we can put a helper in the tractor to finish ploughing the field before we bring the lime truck up. And that didn't cut. That back and cut again. That needs a new field cut. Ooh, interesting. There we go. That got it. So if we mark that one there for now, let's just check I didn't turn off new fields. Yes, I did. Mark that one there for now. We'll go and get the beast with the small roller on it to consolidate the field edge, and then we'll be able to set that plough away with a helper. Be able to go and collect the hay on the other field. Zoom in drone, not so far out. This beast needs a wash, big time. If you remember a couple of episodes ago, I explained why I've got the two rollers, 3 meter and the 4 meter. 3 meter is for putting edges on the fields. 4 meter is for recovering large areas. So what we want to do here, and I'm just looking, there's only flowers on the field edge at the far end and on the side to my right, so we can cut this quite tight into the hedge. This side a little bit, oh, back a little bit I said. Right, off we go. Try and keep this zoom in quite tight. Want to destroy the flowers, so stay outside of where the flowers are. There's a nasty slope there, so I don't want to be cultivating on that. Or harvesting on that. Do it like that, and then put it in across here, and do a curve on there. Back it up, just make sure that we've got that corner. Take it back about here, zoom out a little bit, and we're going to curve that corner a bit better. Make it easier, the various vehicles and tools. Get round that corner. It's a bit better. Right, so I jump out. Open this thing. Right. Into the field here a bit. What I want to do is bring up course play. Yes, it's course play I bring up. Okay, course management, I believe. No, not Autodrive. No, must be this one. Calculate current field's edge path. That's what we do. We get that blue line. Gives us the edge of the field. And field edge path number. This, I believe, this was 25, wasn't it? I believe it was 25. Hold on. Oh, I can't escape now. What? Console. It is 25, yes. There we are, that one. So, do that again. Course play. Field edge path number 25. Overwrite field 25's edge path into the list. Yep, there we go. Now, when we come back to here and we go to course generation, select field 25, it's got the user in brackets after the field number. Headland, we're going to put 3 around it. Want just only a 6 meter, so we'll put a 15% overlap. Down, up, down. It's a 6.2 meter, not an 8.2. Generate the field course. Back and first waypoint. Return to first waypoint. Activate and release driver. Drive the course. On you go. Check that they're doing it properly. Ah, lovely. It's quite a small field, but it's perfect for root crops. Especially if we're going to have piggies later in the game, we'll need some root crops in the silo because we can chop the root crops as part of their feed. Also, root crops tend to give you a lot of yield and out of a small space. And even a small field like this will probably fill the harvester about 3 times, which is probably more actually, maybe 4. Each fill is about 10,000 litres, 9.5, 10,000 litres. We'll get a respectable amount out of it. I want to check that they start the second headland correctly, and we'll head down to the other field. For a think there. There we go, they're moving in. Yeah, that's it, right. We're going to need that roller down at the other field because once we cut that field we'll need to sort out the headland as well. By the time we've got that straw collected, we'll be ready to bring that plough down. Is I'll just leave this one here like this. I'll back it into the shed out of the way. leave the roller on it. Right. Straw. And we're getting close to running over time here, despite the time lapses. So if I fade it out, you know what's going on. I'll basically run out of time. I think we should be able to get this field picked, lifted before that happens, especially if I time lapse this collection. Right, that's that field emptied, and by the time we tip this sort of 1/3 load-ish, half load, 1/3 load into the silo, we'll have the silo about 25% full of its hay capacity, which is brilliant because it's a 1.1 million litre capacity for hay. Going to last us pretty much the whole year. Don't need to panic about collecting more hay, but I mean, I obviously will collect it as we go through the year. But we're clean out of time for this episode, so we're going to have to cut that large field that we just cleaned. We're going to have to do that in Thursday's episode. Now, don't forget, of course, that today is Farm Sim 22 day, so I'm going to be adding a new series for Farm Sim 22 in addition to the 2 current series for Farm Sim 19. Bad bit of reversing there. Trying to reverse this parallel to the windrower so that I can wash it. Yeah, I'm going to be recording and uploading Farm Sim 22 series alongside the Farm Sim 19 series. I've already promised I'm going to keep the Farm Sim 19 series running, for as long as it's viable for me time-wise. I really do appreciate you guys chipping in and adding your comments and observations and so on down below, especially the likes that you give to the videos. And yeah, don't forget also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out, and it certainly helps YouTube to know that people want to watch my content, and it gets a higher placement in search and on the homepage. So please do that. Don't ignore that part of it. It's very important for smaller channels like myself that don't already have 1.5 million followers. Every single channel follower we can get, every video like, and every comment on a video helps to promote us higher up the list in search. So please do it. And thanks very much for being here for this one, through to the end. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, Farm Sim 22 comes out today. If you haven't already got it and you're wanting to get it, now's probably a good day to get it, unless you're waiting for a reduced price in the sales or whatever. And I can't blame you for that. But I'll see you on Thursday, when we should have that small field finished and be ready to cut that big field and get them all planted. It's 1 PM on the last day of spring in game, and we want those 2 fields limed, cultivated, fertilized and sown before midnight. So we've got quite a bit of work to do, considering we haven't even ploughed and cut that big field. I'll see you for that on Thursday. Thanks for being here, and as always from me, it's not goodbye, it's just bye for now.